request all of you to please listen to her discourse very attentively. And now, as a token of our respect, I request Deepa Talwar to offer her a garland.
बोले श्रीमद सद्गुरु सरकार की जय। बोले लाडली लाल की जय। बोले श्रीमद सद्गुरु सरकार की. My most humble pranams to each one of you, dear devotees, for being here this evening. Indeed, this grace can never be spoken about that has already been endowed upon us. Number one, we already are in this most precious human form. Just imagine, there are 8.4 million kinds of species. Those heavenly beings, those hellish beings, and those beings on this earth, above or below, north or east, south or west, wherever. Amongst all the souls, it's only those souls endowed in the human form, like you and I, who are the most blessed, who are specially chosen by God and graced by our Supreme Divine Mother, Sri Radharani, our Supreme Divine Father, Sri Krishna, to be in this human form. With the sole purpose, the Supreme Almighty Lord has given us this golden chance once again. With this human form, if we live a life just like any other living beings, then this life will go a waste. And we will not be any near the true purpose of our lives. The true wish of God will never be fulfilled. We will never pay heed. That means we had never and we will never be able to pay the heed to his instructions, teachings, and purpose. Because once the soul expires from this human body, there is no chance until Janmantara Sahasreshu Manushyatvam hi Durlabham. After, God knows only how many uncountable lifetimes we will then again be graced with this human form. It's not that it will come tomorrow and it's in our hands. The one and the only purpose with which the Supreme Almighty Lord has given us this human form is so very different and separate to every other living beings and their actions and their doings. Our one purpose, our one action, our one aim with which the Supreme Lord has given us this human form is to go back to him in his supreme divine abode, in his seva, not service, in his seva. The seva that can only be carried out by attaining his supreme divine love. And to be drenched immersed and intoxicated in that divine love ourselves, and have the divine romance with our supreme divine beloved God, just as the maidens of Braj had. 5,000 years back, the Lord descended on this earth and showed us all. But always there is the divine Maharaj going on with those gopis. This is the purpose of Sharat Poornima. This is the reason of Sharat Poornima, on this full moon night of Sharat Poornima. And we are here so blessed, so much graced by the Lord, in this human form, sitting here, attending the Sharat Poornima Sadhana Intensive. What more can we ask from our beloved Lord? He has not only given us this precious human form, He is also leading us, holding our hands, motivating us from inside, inspiring us from inside, and pulling us, that force, that attraction, that pull that has brought you all from your comfort zones, from your homes, to Sadhana Bhavan at Radha Madhav Dham. Think of this grace of God. Feel it deeply inside, and let us all pay our most humble obeisance at the divine lotus feet of our supreme divine beloved God and the supreme Acharya of this time and age, who descended on the same night of Sharat Poornima, Jagat Guruttam Swami Shri Kripalu Mahaprabhu, our beloved Gurudev. You can see him seated on this stage. Let us all pay our most humble obeisance at the divine lotus feet of our beloved Lord and Guru, and then we shall proceed further with a little bit more talk this evening. Manatha Shri Jagannatho Madguru Shri Jagadguru Madatma Sarva Bhutatma Kripalur Gurave Namah. Guru Raradhanadishcha Guru Paramadaivatam. Guru Partaram Nasti Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Anandamaनन्दकरप्रसन्नं प्रेमस्वरूपं ब्रजभावयुक्तं योगीन्द्रमीड्यं भवरोगवैद्यं गुरुं कृपालुं प्रणमामि नित्यम्. ब्रजे बसन्तं नवनीतचौरं गोपाङ्गनानां चदकुलचौरम् अनेकजन्मार्जितपापचौरं चौराग्रगण्यं पुरुषं नमामि. यो ब्रह्माणं विदधाति पूर्वं यो वै वेदांश्च प्रहिणोति तस्मै तग्वंहादेवमात्मबुद्धिप्रकाशं मुमुक्षुर्वै शरणमहं प्रपद्ये. आनंद कंद सच्चिदानंद श्री कृष्ण चंद्र चरणारविंद मकरंद मिलिंद महानुभाव, the blessed souls, eternal and divine. Dear devotees, We will all chant the holy name of the Supreme Lord for a few minutes, and then I shall proceed with the talk. Bhajo giridhar Govind Gopala. Bhajo
giridhar Govind Gopala.
O bhajo giridhar Govind Gopala. Bhajo. Gaye. Everyone sing.
Govind Gopala.
Bhajo giridhar Govind Gopala. Bhajo
giridhar Govind Gopala.
O bhajo giridhar Govind Gopala. Bhajo
giridhar Govind Gopala.
bhajo giridhar Govind Gopala. Bhajo
giridhar Govind Gopala.
bhajo giridhar Govind Gopala. Bhajo
giridhar Govind Gopala.
O bhajo giridhar Govind Gopala. Bhajo giridhar Govind Gopala.
bhajo giridhar Govind Gopala.
O bhajo giridhar Govind Gopala.
bhajo giridhar Govind Gopala.
bhajo giridhar Govind Gopala.
bhajo giridhar Govind Gopala.
O bhajo giridhar Govind Gopala.
bhajo giridhar Govind Gopala.
O bhajo giridhar Govind Gopala. Bhajo गिरिधर गोविंद गोपाला
भजो गिरिधर गोविंद गोपाला
भजो गिरिधर गोविंद गोपाला
भजो गिरिधर गोविंद गोपाला
वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की
जय।
बोले श्रीमद सद्गुरु सरकार की Dear devotees, once the Supreme Almighty Godhead Personality Bhagwan Sri Ram Chandra Ji, when he descended in Treta Yuga and remained on this earth for 11,000 years. It may not sound true to you all, to your minds, because we are in Kali Yuga. Lifespan is very small. We can't think about lifespan of even human beings to be 11,000 years or more than that in the ages of Satyug. And that is why we also question. Many a times people come to me and question, is it true? Did you not make the mistake? You meant 11,000 years? Yes, I mean 11,000 years. And this is Supreme Godhead Personality. He's always present in the impersonal form, in the unmanifested form. But in the manifested form, he may choose to be present for as many number of years as he wishes to be, because this is generator, operator, and the destructive force we are talking about, God. Thus, when Bhagwan Sri Ram Chandra Ji was here for 11,000 years, only once he gave a speech for the welfare of mankind. Ek baar Raghunath bulaye, Guru Dwij Purvasi sab aaye. All the greatest of the acharyas, the gurus, the supreme God-realized saints, all the greatest of the Brahmins, all the Devis, Devtas, the Rishis, Munis, the Sapt Rishis, Bhagwan Vedavyas, they all gathered. And all the public also gathered. Then Bhagwan Ram spoke his words of wisdom for the welfare of mankind, revealing to us the purpose with which he has given us this human form. The Lord started by saying, Mama sevak priyatam mama soi, mama anusashana manehi joi. Only that individual soul endowed in the human form on this earth. He is aiming at all of us. So don't think that he's talking to animals, birds, and beasts. He's talking to us, human beings, who have got Gyan Shakti and are in Karam Pradhan Yoni, in the action form life. So he's saying only that individual soul is my true sevak. Sevak, the one who is truly surrendered in service to God. I'm using the word service because there is no other English word for it. But seva goes far beyond. It's a very special, very divine, very loving surrender actions of ours at the divine lotus feet of our divine beloved God and Guru. So Mama Sevak, my true Sevak, and Priyatam, the most dear to me. Tam is supreme, like good, better, best. Priyatam means the highest, the most, the dearest one to me is one who follows my instructions, my teachings. Mama Anusashan, my agyas, my instructions, my laws. So what is your instruction, my Lord? Before we could ask, he knows we would ask this question, and he's giving his instruction to us. We are simply to follow it, and follow it blindly without applying our intellect, without calculating. बड़े भाग मानुष तनु पावा सुर दुर्लभ सद ग्रंथ निगावा साधन धाम मोक्ष करी द्वारा लेकिन पाई न जेहि परलोक सवारा तो सो परत्र दुख पावई सिर धुनि धुनि पछताई काल ही कर्म ही ईश्वर ही मिथ्या झूठा दोष लगाई. The sole purpose of this human life is to come to me. Basically, that's what the Lord is saying. To go across this vast ocean of Maya and attain the supreme divine love, happiness, God. But those who do not make this attempt to tread on the spiritual path, to practice devotion to God, to practice spirituality, then they will be very, very sorry because they'll go through a lot of miseries and pain. Not only in this life, plus in the uncountable lives that they will get while rotating in the cycle of transmigration. And at that time, that individual soul, especially when in human being and in human form, going through pain or miseries or sufferings or bad times, will blame either time or fate or God. Fate is not something that God designs for us or makes for us. We are the makers of our destiny. What we do, our present action, becomes fate in the very next moment. In the past, it's known as fate. So, but we will blame fate, time, my times are not right, or my fate, or God. Directly we will blame God for doing things for us, that he has made me go through this, he is the one who's giving me pain, etc., etc. So basically, the Supreme Almighty Lord is saying that in this human form, we have to make every attempt to make sure that the prime most importance is given to your spiritual practice, to your divine love devotion practice. Please, my dear souls, he says, this is my agya. This is my instruction. And there is no seva equal to agya palan. Agya samna susahib seva. And that is why my true sevak and the most dear one is the one who follows my teaching. Keeping this in our minds, and those individuals who are wise enough and graced enough, and due to their past beautiful devotional actions have earned enough of their devotional punya and are moving Godward, moving towards the spiritual path, are practicing devotion to God. For these souls who are sincerely practicing devotion, like you and I, we are seated here in satsang. Now, those of us who are sincerely seeking for the darshan of God, for the love of God, who are truly, sincerely trying to purify our hearts and minds so that we may be filled with the happiness, the true happiness, and all sorts of our desires that brings us so much of stress and brings so much of pain in life is gone. If we are truly seeking for true happiness, which in fact is God, whether we know about it or don't, because God is bliss, God is happiness, God is love, then for those devotees who have already taken shelter at the lotus feet of the Supreme Almighty Godhead Personality, who is likened to be a ship, a boat, or those of us who have taken shelter at the lotus feet of a God-realized saint like Jagadguruttam Swami Shri Kripalu Mahaprabhu, our Guru, who is steering the boat. Guru is Navik. He is the boatman. Those of us who have taken shelter at the divine lotus feet of God or Guru, for those devotees, for those aspirants, the vast ocean of Maya, the infinite vast ocean of Maya, becomes so small, equal to a hole created by the hoofs, the feet of the cow. Next time when you are out there, somewhere in a farm where there are cows, where you will be allowed to go, no electric wires, go and see. The cow's feet, or the cow's hoof, when it falls into little soft mud, soil, it makes a hole. Now that hole is so small, isn't it? The infinite vast ocean of Maya becomes like a small hole, equal to the hole made by the cow's feet. And that devotee very smoothly, very easily, without any complications, crosses the vast ocean of, infinite ocean of Maya and attains the true purpose of life, the sole one purpose of life, attains God. So easy, just by taking shelter sincerely at the lotus feet of God and Guru. That is why spiritual practice is so important. So important. That is why it should be prime most importance in our life. It will lead us. The Lord says, "Jo tu dhave ek pag, to main dhaun saat." You take one step towards me. One step towards me. You take a single step towards me, coming Godward. I will take 60 steps, but don't think 60 like in your counts, because our measure and God's measure can never be compared. The Lord says basically, you come walking to me, I come running to you. You come running to me, I come flying to you. You come flying to me, I'm there. I'm there. I'm there for you. How much of happiness I get from my souls, from my dear children, says the Lord. After all, the soul is mine. It was never given birth by any parents on this earth. These parents keep on changing. Every relation here in this world keeps on changing. We all see it. We all are aware of it. But the problem is we don't accept it. And we fight it. And we ignore it. And internally, very subtly, we challenge. My spouse will never die. My parents will never be bad. My children will never go against me. All that stuff. When the truth is, everything, everyone, every relation here is selfish. It is selfish. You are selfish, I am selfish, everyone is selfish. Until and unless we attain our ultimate purpose of God realization, of perfect true happiness, we will be in search of happiness. We will be in search of love. And nobody here is perfect love or happiness. What to say of has it? Nobody is. Nobody has attained it. We are all beggars of love, each one of us. And we all promise one another, I'll give you love, I'll give you happiness. All false talks, all lies. And we live in this life. We have lived in these lies since time immemorial. And that is why it's become a part of our life and living. In every life, we only do the same thing. So now we have to wake up. Uttishthata, jagrata, prapyavarani bodhata, says the Vedas. Awake, arise, and surrender yourselves at the lotus feet of the greatest of the God-realized saints and attain the true purpose of your lives. And just imagine, just by trying to surrender, coming in and taking shelter at the lotus feet of God and Guru, just opens the path to our purpose so smoothly, so easily. Now that's one thing. Now coming, this is the instruction of God, of the Supreme Almighty Lord. And coming to my Guru, Jagat Guruttam Swami Shri Kripalu Mahaprabhu. It is his dissension day also tomorrow. It is Sharat Poornima tomorrow. It is Sharat Poornima today in India. Tomorrow we are celebrating, and this is Sharat Poornima Sadhana Shivir. Under the guidance of the Supreme Acharya of this time and age, Jagat Guruttam Swami Shri Kripalu Mahaprabhu, who was given this title. The title was conferred upon Sri Maharaj Ji by Kashi Vidvat Parishad. 500 eminent scholars of Kashi, the greatest of the scholars, unchallenged scholars of Kashi, Varanasi, Kashi Vidvat Parishad, in the year 1957 on the day 14th of January, when his age was only 33. He was only 33 years of age. He was the 5th original Supreme Acharya of this time and age in this world. What is the instruction of Jagat Guruttam Sri Kripalu Mahaprabhu to all of us who are doing sadhana under his guidance? Sri Maharaj Ji every year conducted a sadhana shivir. From many years he had been doing, but since 1961 he started a formal sadhana shivir. And this in every year Maharaji would give us the talk. And the opening talk will always talk about this one thing, that look, my dear children, the entire creation, the entire world, and especially our earth that we see and where we live in, we see it all moving. Sansaratiti sansaraha gachatiti jagat, constantly on the go. But look at the discipline. Look at the laws and the orders. You time yourself, and we all put our alarms, and the clock goes buzzing. At the same time, the sun rises, the sun sets, the moon rises, the moon sets. The stars come, the rain, the wind, the breeze, whatever is needed, earth, air, water, fire, and ether, the 5 elements. Everything is in perfect order, law and order. So perfectly disciplined, otherwise one planet will collide with the other. or everything will collide into one another and everything will crash to pieces. But look how beautifully this world is moving. Who is the mover? Who is doing all this? अपने आप हो जाता है. कुछ कुछ होते हैं ऐसे लोग. कमी होता है कुछ. Yeah. Some people, they say, oh, it all happens on its own. There is no God, no supreme power above who's controlling all this or moving all this. So once there was a geography teacher. He was teaching geography in England. And he said to the children the same thing, that, the whole world moves around on its own. It's all come under creation on its own. There is no supreme personality behind it. God is a product of the crazy minds. There was one boy sitting there who was a sincere devotee of God. Anybody who is a sincere devotee of God will get Gyan. Gyan. Gyan is a child of bhakti. Gyan and Vairag, detachment and knowledge or wisdom comes with devotion. Devotion is the mother. It gives rise to these two children, Gyan and Vairag. So that child, little child, it was not a high school or a university, just a primary school. But that little young man, he thought in his heart, what the heck this professor is talking about? Does he know what he's talking? Anyway, after he'd given all his lecture, that teacher, he said, all the papers are in your table now, on your table, and all the pens and all the color pencils are there. Now, make the map of the world that I had just explained about. He had talked about the world, that Australia is here, New Zealand is here, Fiji is here, and then America is here, USSR, and then you go to England, and this is Europe, and this is India, and all that stuff. So now, draw a sketch map of the world, and then put the colors, the different colors. Everybody got busy sketching whatever the teacher had told and talked about and explained. They all started doing their work. This one man, this one boy, he did not do anything. He let the paper be on the table, let the pencil be on the table, he left the colored pencils there, and he was just sitting there. The professor made a round, the teacher made the round, one round, saw it. Second round, third round, he said, what are you doing, young man? Sitting there idly? You are here to study, right? Then listen to me. I've just explained the whole thing about the world. Come on, start drawing the sketch map of the world and then do the coloring. He didn't answer. He didn't say anything. He didn't pick up the pencil. He didn't do anything. And then finally the time was up. Then the teacher said, everybody has handed me their papers, but this young man did not do anything. Can I know and get the explanation from you that why you didn't make any sketch map, listen to my instruction? He said, I'm so sorry, sir. You said that the entire world came into creation on its own. There is no creator. There is no one moving this world. It's moving in a very disciplined law and order on its own. Then there is the paper, there is the pen or the pencil, and there are the colored pencils. The world sketch map can be done on its own. It doesn't need me to do it. When the whole world can come into creation on its own without any creator, then why only a simple sketch map needs somebody to draw it? It can be drawn on its own. Everything is there. The paper is there, the pencil is there, the colors are there. It will all be done on its own. The professor bowed down to that student. He said, today, someone has thrown the challenge and has defeated me. You are right, my child. You are right. When a sketch map of the world cannot be drawn on its own, then how come the entire world, the creation, can come about on its own? So you got it. We have to surrender. We have to surrender. Our pride, our ego, our arrogance is not going to work. So there's so much of law and order. And there is the Creator, God, who is embodiment bliss. Raso vai saharasagwam hevayam labdva nandi bhavati. Taitra Upanishad. He is the supreme bliss. And the one who shall attain him will be endowed with bliss. Will not become God, will not become bliss, will be endowed with bliss. So, Sri Maharaj Ji, Jagat Guru Uttam Swami Shri Kripalu Mahaprabhu, with love we call him Sri Maharaj Ji, he has given us some instructions for sadhana. We are here in this sadhana intensive. It's a very mini intensive, but sadhana is sadhana. Whether you do it for 1 hour at homes, or we do it in a group for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. This is a 3-day. Today we're starting late, but tomorrow we have got the whole program starting from 5 a.m. in the morning, 5:15 in the morning, till midnight. And then we have got Sunday. Now, throughout the sadhana, number one thing is to be strictly disciplined in following the rules and the laws or regulations strictly. There are few rules that we need to abide by. And we should strictly follow. In this number one rule, it is the mind that needs to practice sadhana. Man eva manushyanam karanam bandha mokshayo. Be it your material actions, duties, or be it the spiritual, devotional action, both need your mind. Your mind alone is responsible for performing any action. So the devotion that needs to be practiced here, it is the mind. Your body has come all the way from homes, from anywhere, from wherever you have come. Your bodies are here. Physically, you are present here. This is indeed the greatest grace endowed upon all of us. But this is not going to lead us to the purpose, remember. Physically, we can be present here. But mentally, we need to be present spiritually here. And in our minds, there should not be any other thought. You have left the homes and come here. Here also, your spouse would be here, husband, wife, children. Try to keep minimum interaction with them, minimum, whatever is necessary. And there too, try to practice vow of silence. It's very important. You speak one word and you are gone. You are gone, you can't be saved. You may think that, oh no, I know. No, you don't know. The fact is, we don't know. Vow of silence. But this vow of silence is not only with your tongue. We are not to speak anything to anybody. If we speak only God's name, chanting God's name, that is. But mentally, it is the vow of silence that needs to be practiced. What is the mental vow of silence? In the mind, there should be no thinking about anything going on apart from God. Think about God. Every action and every duty and every seva that we carry out, it should only be directed to please God, to please Guru, not to please any person. I'm not here for anybody. More das kahau aur karahi nar asa to kahau wo kasa vishwasa. Bhagwan Ramchandra ji is saying, the person is calling himself or herself to be my das, to be my servant, but is dependent on other people, is relying on other people. Tell me, what kind of devotee is that person? What kind of das is that person? The Supreme Almighty Lord Ram himself is saying कि मेरा दास कहता है और करता है नर का आशा, तो बताओ वो कैसा दास निकला फिर? वो तो दास ही नहीं हुआ. दास को तो एक ही पर निर्भर होना है. We have to have firm faith in our Supreme Almighty God and Guru, and in their presence. In their presence, He's with me. He's watching me. He knows everything seated within me. Let not the ego, let not the pride overpower. Because this naughty mind, this mischief mind, has been doing its naughty deeds, its mischief acts since time immemorial. And it will continue to damage. Do not let this mind play trick again unto you. Do not let it drag you away from the teachings of the scriptures and the Guru. So be very strict with what Sri Maharaj Ji wants us to do. So he says that follow the disciplines, strictly the rules, regulations. Number one, the vow of silence of the mind. The body is here, but physically this will not lead us to the purpose of our lives. Mentally we have to be connected with God. Sadhana means, yoga means to unite. Bhakti Yoga Sadhana. This sadhana means to unite your mind with God. Now we need to get the mind united with God. If there is something that you really need to say, write it down or just speak one word and do that and finish. Not yap, 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 yap. And try to finish every task in your free time so that you can make maximum time sitting in the sadhana. And when you start to do your mental sadhana, mind sadhana with the sumiran, this mind sadhana is what Sri Maharaj Ji calls Roop Dhyan. And he says, focus on Roop Dhyan. And for Roop Dhyan, the most beautiful deities are there. These are not dolls decorated. These are deities of God. And this has been given life by a God-realized saint. When Sri Maharaj Ji was here, personally present, he has not only touched them, he has become one with them. Pran Pratishtha. You know, the mantra Pran Pratishtha is a mantra Pran Pratishtha. But whereas Siddh Mahapurush does the Pran Pratishtha, it's a real Pran Pratishtha. That is why when in the year 2013, the Kedarnath incident happened, and the whole thing got flooded, and the mountains, they all slided, remember? And everybody got killed, and every house got destroyed. But that one Shiv Lingam that was established by Adi Jagadguru Shankaracharya remained and is still there. How come? You can never get that answered. The only one answer is, it's by a Siddh Mahapurush, who is God realized and who's God personality himself. Adi Shankaracharya is Lord Shiva himself in the form of a Jagadguru. Jagadguruttam Swami Shri Kripalu Mahaprabhu is a Yugal Sarkar avatar in the form of the Supreme Acharya. So, when their divine lotus feet touches even the inanimate, it makes it animate. It brings life to it. So Pran Pratishtha, that is why this Kishori Ji is so attractive to our hearts and minds. And when we do Roop Dhyan, we have to do Roop Dhyan on God. And those of you who have already accepted Jagadguruttam Sri Kripalu Mahaprabhu as your Guru in your heart, you bring your Guru in your heart as well. God and Guru, both. Or only God, but do Roop Dhyan. It's a must. Roop means form. Dhyan means to think, to meditate, to focus. Deeply go in your mind with the Lord. Bring the Lord in your hearts and minds. in a very Chetan manner. Chetan means life. Thus, do not just think of the Lord's idol or deity as just a statue. And then when you are walking outside, eating, doing any seva, at that time, feel the presence of the Lord always with you. Always feel the presence of the Lord with you. That is also a Rup Dhyan, but of a different nature. You are bringing the form of God in your heart and mind again and again, and that would not get you distracted away from your one thought of serving God and trying to make Him happy, trying to make God and Guru happy. This motive, this thought should always be in our hearts and minds. Whatever we do, it's only for the happiness of my beloved Lord. And be disciplined, follow the rules strictly, do not let the wild mind play the wild game. So the mind, the mind of anybody, of you and I, we are seekers, we are aspirants, it gets attracted and it gets pulled by Maya, by the sensual pleasure-giving things. But a sincere devotee who's practicing devotion at the lotus feet of God and Guru, for that person, even though the mind would be attracted towards the worldly people, worldly, sensual, pleasure-giving things, but because of the practice of divine love devotion, the power of devotion, and the influence of this ever-increasing devotion, the Shakti and the influence of it will not allow that might pull to defeat the soul. It cannot. It will attract. Maya will attract, but Maya will not be able to defeat that soul. The soul, with the grace of God, with the grace of Guru, will continue progressing, though it may be hindered for a little while, little time. Keep your hearts and minds in the shelter of Guru and God, and you'll be very well protected, always protected. Have this faith in your heart. Even if the times are very bad, the sanskars are bad, the negativity is too much around, your mind is playing havoc. But if you keep remembering and reminding yourselves of the presence of the Lord, keep doing your Rup Dhyan sadhana, this devotion itself has got such power that it will protect you with the grace of your beloved Lord. Thus, try your best when you are here to follow the rules, and especially, as I say, Rup Dhyan. Try to do Rup Dhyan sadhana. So when we are seated, when we are singing, when we are chanting, do Rup Dhyan sadhana. If we do this, Sri Maharaji himself has said to us that I will get, Maharaji says, that he will get so over-thrilled with joy on seeing his own children crying for the love of God, shedding tears with their hearts melting in the longing for the Lord. When we are doing sadhana, we want to see God. We want to have His embrace. We want to attain His love. And for that, if we really, like a little innocent child, baby, start to cry, how much of joy, happiness, God and Guru get, we can't even imagine. Sri Maharaji says, I'll be so happy, but your purpose of your life will also be fulfilled. Just imagine. You'll be graced because once Guru is happy, naturally we receive the grace of the Guru. Once God is so pleased with us because we are following the instructions, the teachings rightly, in the right manner, then their grace falls upon us. So the right way of doing sadhana is important. And what is the right way of doing sadhana? The mind. The mind. The mind needs to be engaged in performance of the sadhana. The mind needs to get attached with love in God. And that will come through Rup Dhyan Sadhana, by bringing the God, the Lord, in your hearts and minds, the form of God, the form of God. And don't be nervous. It won't happen overnight. You may not get the result in all these 3 days, but don't get nervous. Don't get stressed. Try. हम कोशिश ही कर सकते हैं. कोशिश करो, भगवान कहते हैं. लेकिन आप बिल्कुल नर्वस मत होइए अगर कुछ नहीं हो रहा है. आप ट्राई भी करेंगे तो उधर से कृपा बनने लगेगा. When we start to put in our efforts, we may not be getting any result, any good result in doing Rup Dhyan. But don't get nervous. It won't happen overnight, as the Lord, as Sri Maharaji says. But keep on trying. Keep on trying. Keep on trying. Look, when we were born, we all forgot, right? We could not even turn on our sides. We could not even turn on our sides. एक position पर पड़े हैं, सोचो. If today we are to lie, we are made to lie in one position only, just imagine our backache, our headache, our every ache will start. But when we were little babies, so soft and delicate that body is, and we were lying in that same position, we could not even turn on our sides. How hard the effort was put by us. So much of pain we went through. So many times we tried. This soft body, so much of pain it went through. And ultimately and finally when we were able to turn, wow, it was like we have won the entire world of happiness, isn't it? But then we learned how to sit, and then how to stand, and then how to walk. So everywhere we put a lot of effort. There was a lot of pain which went through it. So many times we fell. So many times we got hurt. But we continued to put the effort. So यहाँ पर भी, in the sadhana, we need to continuously put the effort. But hold faith. Hold firm faith in God and in Guru. He is omnipotent. He is omnibenevolent. And He knows your heart. He's omniscient. And He's omnipresent. Hold faith and continue to practice, to practice, to practice. One day you will perfect it. With His grace, it will come. So try to practice the disciplined sadhana and try to minimize every interaction. And do your sevas during the break time so that you can have the maximum time in the sadhana. Don't get overtired doing anything that you are unable to sit in the sadhana. Sadhana is very important. We can't do this at homes. At homes you try to do sadhana. Suppose there are 2 people at home, or 3 or 4. Every person is different. They all have different sanskars. They all have different interests. There is always a clash at home. And then you argue or you fight, and then you try to do sadhana, and then again you're exposed to that atmosphere. This comes with such great grace and blessing, such opportunity where you're away from home. Even if you're living just not very far from Radha Madhav Dham, you'll go back home. But at least as long as you are here, you are not in that same environment where somebody's breaking something, somebody's screaming, somebody's put the TV on high, somebody's doing something. So here, you've got the least amount of distraction, and a maximum amount can be employed in doing Rup Dhyan Sadhana peacefully. So when such opportunity comes, it comes with the greatest grace of God. Yahi sar avat ati kathanai aur Ram kripa binu aayi na jai. Without God's grace, such opportunities can never, never arise. So try to feel this in your heart, in your mind. How much grace I have attained. What have I done? What have I done in my past lives? I can't see that I've done anything so good that the Lord is so good to me. He has graced me beyond my deservedness, I think. I don't deserve it, and yet see how much He's given me. So feel this, and the only way to thank the Lord is to please Him. So try to please God and Guru by following the instructions and the teachings of the Lord. Roop Dhyan Sadhana, by practicing vow of silence, is very important, least amount of interaction. Try to do your sevas, finish it as fast as you can in your break time, come back to the sadhana hall, maximum time. The mind will say, let's go and sleep, let's go and do this, let's go and do that. You'll try. This mind is like that, but do not let this mind overpower and destroy your sadhana or bring hindrance in your sadhana. You'll have to be a little strict and forceful. We all will have to be forceful. Then see how much Guru does for us. Guru and God, we can't even imagine how far they reach out. When they see the child is trying, but this child is in danger because Maya is attracting, then the Guru, once there was this very good devotee of Sri Maharajji, and this devotee used to come every year to the sadhana program, do the sadhana so beautifully, but that year the devotee was not there. And Maharajji kept on asking the devotee's father, where is this person? Where is your daughter? Where is she? And the father says, she's doing this and she's doing that. Maharajji says, call her. Tell her to come to the sadhana. Call him. Tell him to come to the sadhana. Your child. So the father, he tried calling, but the children, they just didn't want to come, especially that girl, she didn't want to come to the sadhana because she kept on saying that I have this duty to do, I have this duty, this is very important, this is very important. And the father thought, okay, it's very important, told Maharajji. And she didn't come, but then she had gone astray. That's why the Guru was calling. She had gone in a very wrong association, wrong company. After a while, after 1 year, that person realizes, oh God, what was I doing or where I started heading? Comes back. And the Guru receives the person just the same. The door, the divine door is open. But the Guru did not allow that person to be defeated by all that attraction. Though he or she was pulled in that direction, but was brought back. See, this is what divine love devotion does. It kicks you from inside if we start going even in the wrong direction. We are very well protected by our Guru and God. So try to continue with your beautiful sadhana. See how much you can gain. Just experience this once in your lifetime. We have Akhanda Mahamantra, non-break, non-stop from 6 p.m. tomorrow till midnight. And before that, right from, as I said, 6 a.m., we are starting our sadhana program with little breaks, lunch break and dinner break, etc. Tomorrow is a very special day, so we are having a very special bhog here as well. So please, as must have been announced, do these sevas, be involved in these sevas, because the physical seva and the monetary seva help us in our mental sadhana. The most important thing is our mind sadhana. But these two are also great helpers. It makes you just be a part of it, and the mind starts to do a lot of chintan on this. With these few words, I'll end it here this evening, and you'll hear more from me on Sunday. for a little while. Bole Shrimat Sadguru Sarkar ki, Bole Ladli Lal ki, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe.